Part 2. Okay, today in this episode we're talking about education. We're showing my conversation with them, how I came to educate you. We didn't talk about starter locks or different things like that. We basically just touched on retwisting with the twist and set, the shampooing, the conditioning, follicular healing, shampoos, the therapeutics, all of those different things that design offers that I know can help healthy hair as well. This was the purpose that we were there. We were there to talk about these products. So basically, this is me educating them on how to have a healthy process in having your retwisting of your dreadlocks.
All jokes. Do you have a reason why you're using shampoos?
Because I've been to Jumpstore Academy, so I used to.
It's just familiar.
Yeah.
Do you know the components of those products? Like what's in them, what they offer, anything of that sort?
Yeah, I think.
You do? What do you, if you had to tell me something, if I was a client, what would you tell me you like about this product?
Because they have keeping tea tree.
Tea tree. You like the feel
yeah,
of
it
the tea tree?
opens the pores.
What about your conditioners? Do you condition?
No, we don't condition.
You don't? Why not?
I don't know. No conditioners.
What about natural afros? You condition afros? Well, what's the difference between afro hair and locks?
I didn't do like since I started working here, then I started being exposed to Afro hair, but I didn't do like a lot of Afro hair. You know, I'm used to like doing dread and stuff.
In dreadlocking, you definitely want to offer conditioning and moisturization, being that this hair is holding on to a lot of dead shedded hair. In this process, as it dehydrates in this area, it can break off a lot faster. So basically, as time goes on, we want to keep rebuilding it, keep giving it life, keep giving it nutrients, keep giving it proteins, and make sure that her scalp is healthy. Because if you look at her locks tell a story. I can see everywhere where the style has been implemented. So those are places that make the lock actually weaker in those areas. So that's where it can possibly snap faster.
Your locks really do tell a story. Every time you clip in the wrong place, every time you wear a bonnet and scrunch the hair up, you retwisting too tight, you're going a long time without a retwist, you're doing all these different type of things, you're changing up products, you're changing up conditioners, you're changing up a whole bunch of stuff. Your locks is going to show you, your hair is going to show you, because all of those different things have a different effect on you. You changing stylists all the time, everybody twists different, they may operate differently. I can tell those things. I can also smell what your house smells like. I can smell what your life is like. If you're a chronic smoker, or you drink a lot, you don't drink a lot of water, you work out a lot, you're keeping these ponytails and these styles, I can tell those things. Your hair tells that story. So be careful with what you're doing to your hair, because once you get down certain avenues, sometimes there's no room for redemption. Play safe.
So it's not that saying that you're doing a bad job, it's just a basic understanding of what happens futuristically in locks. Because what looks good today can be a damaging factor for tomorrow. So this is where I do 3 different shampoos. I do a shampoo for the hair, a shampoo for the scalp, well, 2 shampoos for the hair, because one is a moisture and one is a deep cleaning. And being that you guys are using beeswax and something that's really thick, like the gels and the waxes, you definitely want to get that out, because that can cause a buildup, which can also cause breakage, which can also cause thinning. Because at that point, the cortex of the hair, when you take in the oxygen and all that, it can't breathe anymore. So now the hair is blocked. This is when things like this start happening. She starts to thin, and you see how her hair right here is kind of dull. It's not as shiny. You want to basically implement some moisturization right there. So she's not in a bad place, because at this point she can be rebuilt. She can be like healthy, because she still has hair. She does not have bald spots, which is good. But you want to pay attention to this. Come here for me. You see how tight this is right here? That, give me a finger. Okay, you feel that bump right there? That's on his way to thinning.
This is the evidence of what I was just talking about. You now can see where products have dried her hair out, the retwisting has gotten too tight, the styles that was the main concern has done so many different things to her scalp. And now, if we don't start to rebuild this, she will lose. I say these things so that you as a consumer or you as a stylist can actually kind of change the game up, and you can understand what's going to happen for your hair. Whether you want a free form retwist every 3 weeks, However you want to take care of your locks, just find a healthy balance. Because losing is not the game you guys are going for when you're starting your journey. So let's stop the negativity part of this side of the locking game and actually get back to a healthy place. I'm not saying buy anything that Design Essentials, nor am I saying buy anything from the Evolution of Style. What I'm saying is get to a healthy place and you will win. That's the goal. That's the journey.
Which means in the future, as you keep going tighter and tighter, it will pop. So you good, because what I'm gonna teach her today is how to make sure that you maintain and obtain moisture in your process, as well as what I want you to do at home and have a healthy regimen. How often are you getting your hair retwisted?
Once a month.
Once a month, which is pretty good. When you get your shampoos, being that this is, you said you only run it once, right? What was your other stylist doing for you?
We were using beeswax as well. We were using the same products.
Same things?
Yeah.
And did you see like flaking, you had a lot of itching, different things like that? Describe your intermediate process in between going to the salon.
It starts itching at about week 2.
Week 2, exactly.
Yes, until I come back.
So are you
So I was reaching.
a lot of sweating too? And sweating on top of heavy products that can make another level of buildup. So now she can have, you ever heard of seborrheic dermatitis? Okay, seborrheic dermatitis is basically when the scalp, it's like a rash. The sweating and different things build up in there and they start just killing the hair, killing the scalp, and the body starts to reject the hair because it's trying to heal that area first. Before your hair is a style, it's a protector. So it's basically protecting her scalp, her vulnerable areas. That's why you have hair in specific places, because it's a protector first.
I've been to a lot of classes and I've been to a lot of places and I've read a lot of books on hair and just did a lot of deep studying. And I find that no one ever talks about the consultation. They never talk about the integrity and the understanding of hair. That's an issue for me. Me teaching you the foundation is going to give you the success rate of the hair versus just teaching you the technique. I can teach you the technique and then you just be technique, but then you don't know when to use them or the integrity that comes behind when to use them. Understand what the foundation and a great consultation, a great conversation, and a great understanding of hair would do for you. It has taken me many places just being able to take the client and pick their brain and pay attention to the hair and look at it and talk about it versus just doing what I want to do. This ain't about me. This is about you. So I'm going to make you great.
So you want to keep it light, you want to keep it healthy. When you were a little girl, you realized you had a lot of hair, right? As we get older, because of the different things we put into it, our hair's gone. Go back to that basic. Go back to when you were a little girl. Basic shampoos, light oils, consistent regimen, and the hair will grow because it grows half an inch to a full inch every 30 days. So first, let's start with her shampoo. Come on. Are you taking So basically, first we're going to saturate the hair, and this is where you see that her hair is coated with a lot of different things. So we're going to do a soft rinse first. And when you're locking, you want to make sure, a lot of people only shampoo the scalp. You want to shampoo her entire hair. Because like I said before, this hair porosity is lower than this hair that's attached to her scalp. So if this hair has more product in it than the scalp, it can start breaking there too.
The importance of shampooing, I can't express enough. You guys that are using beeswax and heavy, thick creams and butters and all of those things, and you're not shampooing properly, let's put our brains to paper here. Think about it. Follow me. 365 days in that year, that person has been told not to shampoo for every 6 months. So that's 2 shampoos that year. That person worked out 4 times every week, 52 weeks in a year. All that sweat, if they drink, that's sweat. If they smoke, that's dehydration. So that's more product because now they're itching. If they don't drink water, all of the above. But you're telling this person to saturate, 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 come get a twist, saturate, saturate, saturate. Then at the end of the year, you do a special shampoo that you charge them for. I don't understand. You put in all this work, you told them to do all of these things, and then at the end, you charge them to wash it out? That makes no sense. Shampoo these people's hair. Keep this hair clean. These products are here for a reason, especially the professional ones. If you see my Instagram, if you see anywhere, you will see the evidence of this hair growing full, healthy, and long. Please, man, come on.
Now my first shampoo is my deep cleaning clarifier, but it also has proteins in it. It has a moisture-based protein called a wheat germ and a hydrogenized oatmeal protein. You want to use about this much because this hair holds on to everything, and you want to make sure you work it completely through. Sometimes, as a little trick, I wet the shampoo just to make sure that it gets where I need it to go. Squeezing it all the way down, and then you start to work your way through. Is that too rough? Now watch when I rinse her hair out, what the water's gonna look like. And just imagine that sitting in her hair for the entire month that it's been there.
Alright, now check out this rinse. This rinse is, again, like I was just stating, someone that hasn't shampooed in a while, someone has a lot of product in their hair, and the products that they normally use is really thick and it's really heavy. But the products we were introducing them to was light products, healthier products, products that had proteins and moisture and hydration and all of the above. It was inclined to make the hair a great foundation. So once we introduced them to that, we shampooed them, you saw how they felt, how she's like, it feels like it's everywhere, it feels so good. That's what you want. That's what we're here for. All this other stuff y'all making up, I have no clue.
Do you sweat a lot?
Mm-hmm.
You do? Do you drink alcohol?
On an occasional basis.
Do you smoke?
No.
No, okay. Do you drink water?
Yes. A lot.
Does alcohol and smoke affect?
Yes.
Yes.
It dehydrates the body.
In Africa, they use a really thick substance to retwist their locks. I found that a lot of them use it. Everybody kind of swears by it. But after doing 2 shampoos by my oat protein and Henna by the Design Essentials, I was able to get all of that out. So the people that I saw that had a little simplistic buildup or whatever, once we got in there, we worked that out. And if you ever seen me shampoo, you know I get down, I get busy in my shampoos. My shampoos are important to me because I don't ever want to cut any of my clients' hair and have that peanut butter gritty look on the inside of it. That is not healthy hair. In any other service or any other hairstyle that you do, you don't have that in there. So I don't want to have that in my locks either. So having a healthy shampoo process is really, really important. And you see, it broke down all of this. This is what I want for you.
So is it important to like shampoo even there?
Mm-hmm. But you see how...
Like when your dreads are like really long.
Mm-hmm.
Like wash it.
Yes. You want to squeeze all of that through. Now what I do, because some people do this, what you want to do is start from the front and work your way back. It helps you cover territory. As you go down the middle, then come up the sides, behind the ear, lift up the head, and get the neck. How does it feel? It feels...
I feel like you're getting everywhere.
That's how you're supposed to. So now going forward, if no one shampoos you like this, you know that they did not shampoo you properly, okay?
Hello, are you going to stay here?
Now watch this, watch the water. Do you see all of that coming out of her hair? Think about how long that's been sitting in there. Because the product that you use is so heavy, we're gonna do it again. Now this time you'll see a difference because you're gonna see her hair is gonna sud up and it's gonna offer a difference. See that? That's when you know the hair is starting to get clean. Instantly, it starts to sud up on me. So not only am I deep cleaning, I'm giving it proteins, I'm revitalizing her foundation, making sure her hair is healthy. While you're shampooing, you want to do basic scalp analyzation. Make sure that nothing is thinning, nothing is breaking, everything is there. Everything feels good. One shampoo has cleaned out a good portion of that dirt. Just making sure that you wring the hair out and letting the shampoo just do its job. You don't really have to do that much. A lot of times people have stress spots and locks, which is about right here.
Right.
So you definitely want to make sure you work that area out really good. Lot clearer. That's just basic product you see going down the drain. So you cleanse it, you got everything out, cool it down for me. That's good. And you brought the hair back to its vulnerable place. So now it can be manipulated, and whatever you want to come from it will come out of it with a simple task. You don't have to do much at this point. When you're doing your retwist, your shampoo and all of the above, once the hair is clean and vulnerable, it's at its best. Now because she sweats a lot, you want to make sure that we heal her follicular aspect. We're going to go, our next shampoo is going to be a follicular healer, and it's called Therapeutics. This is going to give kind of a tea tree feel, so it's going to be relaxing, it's going to feel good. You don't have to scratch this one as much because this one's going to open up the pores. You want this shampoo to do its job versus you helping it do its job in this aspect. And make sure that you rinse thoroughly. Now watch this. Clean water. Sit up straight for me. All of the stuff that she had in there is gone. Good? Come on back. How's that feel, love?
It feels minty.
Yes.
And I feel it inside.
Feel good?
It's fine, but let's go.
You don't want to try to- So is that a good thing or not?
I don't know about that. But no, I really feel it.
It should feel nice.
You see how I'm working her entire hair and not just her scalp? I like to use that shampoo because like she said, she sweats a lot, she drinks, so her pores are like secreting a lot of those different things that's going on. So you want to make sure from the inside out that she's healthy and just not just from the outside. You hear the squeaking? You hear that? You hear the squeaking in your hair? The squeaking of your hair.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Yeah.
And I feel aggressive in my hair.
No, it means it's clean.
She said it was aggressive.
Yeah.
My heavy
You know
hands.
how?
You said my hands are aggressive?
No, the hair.
Oh.
The hair.
Because it's cooling. Yeah.
Yes.
That's opening your scalp.
Yeah.
Now, because we got our pores open, we want to re-moisturize. Because everything that we've done, we've taken everything out. So now we want to start replenishing what we just took out. With your, you see how the consistency of that shampoo is different? It's an oil base. This one as well. You're just going to massage through. You're not going to scratch this one through either. Because you want the hair to take in those nutrients, take in those oils, and just start back with your moisturization, start back with your hydration, all the above that your locks will need just to start growing, stay strong, and cause no breakage, because you know she's gonna style, she's gonna do ponytails, she's gonna do all of that. So because she's gonna do that, you wanna make sure you work in the right things to keep the hair healthy. This rinse is not as warm. You want to cool this rinse down because you want the scalp to retain the moisture levels. Okay. You don't want it cold, but you definitely want it cooler. Yes. So it can hold in the oils. If it's too hot, it will take everything that you just put in away. You ever realize when you take a hot shower, you get out, your body's really ashy? Same thing. Now, this one I'm just gonna massage through. And normally with my clients, you don't have to put a lot of this. This is where people feel like, I don't condition my locks because it makes a buildup. I can feel where the conditioner is. Even though I don't see it, I can feel where it's going. So some people would have taken that whole thing and put that whole thing in their hair. You don't want to do that. Just a little bit and just work it through. So you don't even see conditioner anymore. But you can feel with it.
See how soft it is.
And that's basically The conditioner just was put on there. Either way, you want to apply just a little bit of heat just to make sure that the product will start activating and doing its job.
So she's only the steamer.
Okay, so if she wants, she can stay here, or you can put it under the steamer. It's up to you guys. This is going to sit in her hair for the next month. The average person shampoo, how often you shampoo your hair? How often do you shampoo your hair?
Now?
How often?
Often. If my hair is not dated, it's once a week.
See what I'm saying? So you'll wash all your product out. She's gonna have product in her hair for the next 3 to 4 weeks, which is not normal. So you wanna keep it light, keep it healthy, so that once she does start to sweat and different things happen, that she is not a bunch of gooky product and different things in her hair that can be unhealthy. So we're gonna start with these two things, because this is also another light situation. And this is just your twist and set. This is gonna help set the hair while you're working. But these products, as I heard a lot of times that you guys don't sit under the dryer. These products you would have to sit under the dryer. And this is all I'm gonna use. I'm not gonna use a whole lot. Spread that through there. You'll be able to see where I'm putting it. Now I use a comb because I like to just basically go through here and re-part off my sections. And I do 3 retwists. 1, 2, and 3. You see, it's not too much tension. I can still stick a comb through that, and it's not too tight. She's not uncomfortable. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do the overlay.
In Africa, they didn't use clips. Normally, I use clips when I do my retwist. So maybe that's a new thing. Maybe that's something that as Americans we came up with. I'm not sure. But so because I didn't have clips, I just kind of did the fold over look, what I call normally the Houdini thing. So, but we still did the whole retwist. We showed them in just 15, 20 minutes that this could be the retwist. You can set a certain price. You can do so much. You can have healthy hair. You can have healthy products. And everybody be successful. Because not only were we there to help with products, we were there to help with building their economy too. So now we can help everybody have a healthy life and everything will be good. I didn't take America stuff over there. I just took integrity.
Very minimal product.
Very minimal.
That will avoid flaking.
That can last you
too much.
at least 12 to 13 clients. So think of your investment. How much do you charge for each head?
180.
180, which is how much?
180 rand.
180 is about not that much, like $12. Yes.
And how much is this jar?
It's about 180 rand for one jar.
Okay.
So one.
You can
one
pull
one jar.
13 times 180 out of that one jar. For sure. You see, I have not even put a dent in that jar, and I'm halfway through with her head. And each time I twist, you can see that there's a little product right there, so I don't have to put any more. Plus, it's so light that it's in my hand, so you don't have to do a whole lot of applications.
How long do you usually take them to do your 3 long? An hour.
To retwist?
No, to do everything. Wash, retwist,
That's good.
So do you leave out wet though?
No, I didn't.
You do go under.
Before I.
Oh, okay.
Because the hair is going to lock on its own. As it sheds the hair into the base, those 100 hairs a week, those 2,800 hairs a month, that is what's going to lock the hair. That shampooing is what's going to keep that base, keep that foundation healthy and strong. So if you just do a quick shampoo and then come back and put more product, in 6 months, she's going to have a buildup, which can start to smell terrible.
Can I just wash my hair and keep it properly treated? And just keep it with the growth?
You can, but what will happen in the future, you see how tight this is here? It'll start to be this big. It'll be as big as your heart. Because here you trained it to be tight. You trained it to hold on to everything. Here you be training it, because it's still used to locking, you be training it to be a swelled lock at that point. So every time you shampoo, you want to go ahead and retwist. And so that's why I say every 2 to 3 weeks is good. Normally that you would like take a bath every day, you would shampoo your hair every week. You're going against the grain here when you start to shampoo in the longer periods of time, because you got so much sweat and different things on the inside of here. So you just want to keep a healthy balance in between the two. But, you know, because you want to make sure you got more for your money, you want to make sure that you want raw, that nobody is using you, that's what we say, okay, every 2 to 3 weeks maybe.
Hasn't even been 10 minutes. He's showing off, man.
This is my normal.
Yes, it is.
She knows it.
I saw that.
I'm playing.
Crazy numbers.
He'll do a starter lock, a whole starter lock in 30 minutes. Yes. That's why he can do so many people in one day. Okay, this battery is about to die. You hear me?
Yes. I tell you, last year, well, this is American. I made over $3 million. Yeah.
Yes, girl. You have to go. Yes.
How much you charge?
Yes, girl.
About 70. 70 US.
7 or 70.
7.
If you think about it, like in the US, the price of everything, like the
Yeah.
price that you charge for
And that's low. That's the lower price.
It is low.
Yes, because there are some people that charge
Because people don't always value
$150.
the professionalism. But there, because
Right.
they enforce that professionalism, everyone actually can say, look, I'm the same way you pay for a specialist service when you go to the doctor, and you pay 700 Rand when you go to the doctor.
Right.
Because you're like, I need a good doctor. So it's the same way with the hair technicians there, because you're saying, I'm getting quality, I'm getting certain level of skill, therefore I will.
But
That's why
then
they
in
charge
South
more for
Africa,
their
you just
service.
tell neighbor the corner, you see them doing that for the corner.
Yeah.
Exactly, just open up a,
So
just
it's
open up a
fine.
chair, and so that's why it's a lot different here, but I think if you guys know
Does that
you're
happen in the
providing good
US?
service.
What's that?
Like the
On the street?
We're regulated.
No, we have a cosmetology commission where you have to have certain licensure, you have to do certain studies and all of the above.
Not to say that you don't have people maybe in their house doing things,
Yeah.
but we have to sit for a certain amount of hours and get state board certified and keep the license up
So
and get continued education.
That's how I know about the follicle. That's how I know about, how the hair grows, where it grows from, a healthy amount of product to use versus just slapping everything in there. Because you have some people that will use that entire jar on her one head. Yeah. No. You don't have to use that much. If you train the hair to do what it's going to do, she's trained, your braids are trained, her afro is trained. If you train the hair, it's going to do exactly what you tell it to do. Because if you tell me this, if you look at my head, could you tell that I have 3 bald spots? When you train the hair to do certain things, it will do it. I have 2 here and 1 back here. But because of the way I trained it to do coverage and the products that I use and the different vitamins and different things I take, now the hair is still growing healthy, but because of male pattern baldness, it's just thinning, but you can't tell.
Tell Smiley, I don't think on TV.
Yeah, you're gonna be on my YouTube channel.
This is exciting. You gonna be famous.
Are we finished?
African salad.
So you use these products in the US?
Mm-hmm. And now she'll go into the dryer.
Okay.
I didn't get to show you guys the finished look of her hair because we had to move and we had to go do other stuff, plus catch flights. It was a very, very busy trip. I had a lot of fun though. I saw a lot. It just exposed me to a lot, and it just made me feel some type of way. And actually really opened up my mind and my heart, and I'm glad that I had the experience, and I can't wait to do it again. But to follow up from that, that's pretty much it. The next video, I'm not sure what it is. We really haven't lined up anything just yet, but I'm sure something is to come. So stay tuned. I look forward to your comments, your thoughts, your ideas, all the above, because y'all don't play when it comes to comments. They are hilarious. So I'll see you guys on the next video. You need anything, hit me up, call me. Don't send crazy